Plague. I'm Darth Plague.
And I'm his apprentice.
Darth Orbardeg.
Today we are going over the first lightsaber form, which is called Form 1. I think it's called Xian, but I don't want to say that because I'm not positive. We'll be demonstrating its uses. A little history on Form 1. Form 1 was the very first lightsaber style created in history. It was basically an answer to the fact that people had to be trained to fight with swords. It's a very chaotic form. When taken to a higher level, it is the best form suited for fighting many adversaries at once, blaster-wielding adversaries at once. It is not the best dueling, although it can be used, as shown by Kit Fisto, who managed to survive at least a few seconds longer than his contemporaries against Palpatine. It is very much based on the sectors of attack. It's the head being Sector 1. Lower your lightsaber, please. Head was Sector 1. Alright, right arm Sector 2. Sector 3 is left arm. Chest is Sector 4. Sector 5. Sector 6. And then the back is Sector 7. Each pattern move is based off that, and that is actually based on every sword fighting style. So, they would demonstrate frequently the Form 1. They would start their saber attacks in the most basic of all dueling styles, the way most people start a sword fight, with swords up. Either generally gripped with two hands, but it's based on your fighting attack. And you would launch. They would teach people basic cutting techniques, so they would say, attack opponent 1 with high slash. And then, as you can see, his command would be block Sector 1 with high block. Sector 5 attacks. Sector 3, Sector 2, and return. So the basics of all sword fighting was taught in this form. Most people would practice this form for about, from when they were young to around 13. Then they would begin practicing alternative forms. The form was basically as simple as you could get as far as sword fighting went. It also, commonly unknown, taught you the most basic of unarmed combat attacks while in a saber fight, such as punches and kicks. It was simple. In fact, in the novel of the Clone Wars, what was the Clone Wars movie called? The cartoon.
The old one?
No, the new one. The cartoon movie.
The Clone Wars.
The Clone Wars. Asajj Ventress commented in the novelization. She commented how Ahsoka Tano's fighting style was basically nothing more than Form 1. The basic thrusts and parries of Form 1. No flourishes. There's no techniques that are left. It didn't have the specialty moves of Form 4. The direct counters of Form 5, or the fencing styles of Form 2. Form 7 is basically impossible to duplicate without the Force because it requires so much high-level intensity energy, and we're inside the moment. We don't want
to blow off our heating. It is already cold enough in here as it is.
Form 1 was also the basis for all other forms. It taught almost everything about every form. It taught light force attacks, and basic acrobatics, though very rarely were. I don't know. Would you say Kit Fisto? Kit Fisto was not very acrobatic as a fighter.
Well, he could be.
He could be. Any Jedi could be, but he was not a good. He wasn't on the same level as like Yoda or
no, of course not.
Obi-Wan even. That's the basics of
He
Form
was more
1.
of flurries, wasn't he?
Yes. That's the basics of Form 1.
Ah.
If you would like more instruction in this form, let us know and we can do more videos on it.
Konnichiwa.
You can stop recording whenever you feel like it. My apprentice.